Mr. Customer. In the next few moments, I'm gonna explain to you why the all-new redesigned 2015 Ford Mustang is the most versatile, most comfortable, most convenient, best driving, smoothest ride, but most importantly, the safest sports car in the market. And it all begins right here in this engine. This 5.0 liter engine produces a whopping 435 horsepower with 400 foot-pounds of torque, making it the strongest engine ever built on a Ford Mustang. Now, what exactly is torque? Well, as we all know, torque is the ability of the vehicle to get the load going. And when will I ever need that? Well, let's just say you're at an intersection and you have a load full of precious people that you need to get through safely and quickly. Torque is your number one friend. Or let's just say you're entering a highway and there's a big 18-wheeler breathing down your neck and you really need to get away from it. Torque is your number one trusted ally. Now, another safety feature that I like to point out always is the breakaway motor mounts. These breakaway motor mounts, what they do is, God forbid, in case of an accident, you ever have a frontal collision, these motor mounts will actually break away, dropping the engine down towards the bottom of the car, I'm sorry. That way nobody inside the cabin gets injured. Now, if you're wondering, well, if the engine drops down, what's gonna absorb the impact? You see these crumple zones right here? All these crumple zones are the ones that are gonna absorb the whole impact of the collision. And you see these J-hooks right here? This is what's gonna detain the hood from going into the cabin as well. So these J-hooks are gonna hold this hood in place, absorbing all the impact like an accordion. Another cool feature I like to point out is the 6-speed automatic transmission. With a torque converter that it has, it makes the best use of that torque. Now you could also get this in a 6-speed manual transmission, all right? As we walk around towards the side of the vehicle, now to better quiet the passenger's compartment, we've actually added insulation throughout the whole front panels, insulation throughout the whole doors, and even in the back doors. We've made the windows even thicker. It's thicker glass. We've redesigned the seals to make it a more quieter, peaceful drive. We've actually even redesigned the mirrors. Believe it or not, this mirror right here makes a big difference. It used to be connected to the A-pillar. This right here is what you call the A-pillar. This one over here is the B-pillar. Our mirrors used to be connected to the A-pillar, and they were actually so close to the window, and Ford actually found out that it created a lot of wind turbulence. So what we did now, as you can see, this mirror is now connected to the door. And so what that does, we've actually been able to separate the mirror like 3 inches away from the door, and it creates a little bit more aerodynamics here, and it just makes the ride a lot more quieter and a lot more peaceful, just making it a way better ride for you. Now, not only did we redesign this to make it a more peaceful and quiet ride, but these mirrors could actually even prevent you from an accident, and let me tell you how. These mirrors have what they call blind spot monitor. And within this mirror, you have a little light that lights up every time there's a vehicle on your blind spot. So going back to what I was telling you, in the highway, let's just say you already used your torque to get away from that big, scary 18-wheeler, but now you're in a hurry, you're trying to get to work, and you need to exit. Well, guess what? There might be somebody in your blind spot. And if that person doesn't notice you're turning, and if you don't notice that person is there, guess what? He's gonna spin you out of control, and you're gonna create a big accident. Now, to prevent that, we've installed blind spot monitor mirrors. Like I said, every time there's a vehicle in your blind spot, it'll automatically illuminate a little dot, and if you ever hit that turn signal, it'll automatically even send a beep alert on the inside of the cabin letting you know that, hey, there's somebody in your blind spot. So you could either slow down or use that torque again to speed up and get in front of him, all right? Now, before we move on to the back of the vehicle, I do want to point out one very, very, very important safety feature. That is our safety canopy airbag system. What that does is, in case of a side collision or, God forbid, a rollover, these safety canopy airbag system will actually deploy all the way from the A-pillar all the way to the back of the car, and from the top of the vehicle, from right here all the way down to the bottom of the window, protecting your face and your shoulders. And I'm sure you would agree with me when I say that, I mean, unless you're driving with your in-laws in the back, every occupant in the vehicle is important. So I'm very proud to say that only Ford offers safety canopy airbag system, not only in the front, but in the back as well for the occupants in the back. Our competitors like Chevy and Dodge, their sports car like the Challenger and the Camaro, they don't offer that. And so I'm proud to say that for the past 7 years, the Ford Mustang has actually received the highest 5-star crash rating system for 7 years in a row. That's something that no other competitor can brag about. All right. As you can see right here, the overall vehicle score is 5-star, the frontal is 5-star, the crash is 5-star, the side crash is 5-star, and the rollover is 5-star. Everything about this car is all about safety. Ford did a bunch of research whenever they designed this vehicle, and they took a lot of the input from customers, and they realized that one of the most important features was safety. Customers wanted safety. They did not want power, or not only did they want power and comfortability and versatility, but the most important thing was safety. And Ford has always been doing that for the past 7 years. Like I said, for the past 7 years, we've had 5-star crash rating on the Ford Mustang. Now, as we move along the back side of the vehicle, you can notice how Ford brought back that very, very nice, beautiful looking fastback. It's one of those, they brought back the late 60s, early 70s Mustang. And like I mentioned to you, Ford did a lot of research as to what consumers really wanted. And we found out that bringing back that fastback look was really gonna be a big deal for us, and customers are really gonna love it. It just creates a more sleek look on the back of the vehicle, and it's a lot more aerodynamic. As we move along the back side of the vehicle, you can see that we kept our iconic taillights. These taillights are what Ford really wanted to not do away with. Not only are they LED now, which they shine brighter, now they're the 3D tri-art taillights. Now, I'm sure you would agree with me when I say that whenever you're gonna lane switch or you're gonna turn, it is very important for people to notice that you're actually gonna turn or you're gonna lane switch. And what a better way to do it than with these sequential taillights. So the way it works is every time you hit that turn signal, they blink at a sequence, 1, 2, 3. And it is very noticeable. You could be driving a mile away from here, and I could tell that it's a Mustang from a mile away, because these iconic taillights, like I said, Ford did a lot of research. They did not want to do away with them, and I'm glad they didn't, because it just looks awesome. And the way they did this 3D effect, it just looks amazing. Not to mention it's LED, so it shines a lot brighter. Now, they also went ahead and did a backup camera right here. As you can see, there's a backup camera right there, and you also have the backup sensors. Now, the backup camera is something that's totally new, never been seen on a Mustang before. Now, the way the backup camera works and the backup sensors is as soon as you hit it on reverse, let's just say there's an object behind your vehicle. As you're getting closer and closer to that object, it's gonna beep faster and faster until you actually get to a point where it's just beep, because as you're getting closer, it starts beeping faster and faster, beep, 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 beep. And from my understanding, if you actually hit that object, you're gonna get a voice telling you, I told you so. Now, before we move along the other side of the vehicle, one last thing I do wanna point out on the rear end of this vehicle, very important, is the independent rear suspension. Now, it has never been seen on a Mustang before. What that is back then, for the past 49 years, a Ford Mustang on the back wheels used to be connected by an axle, you know? So there was 2 wheels connected by an axle. So if you ever hit a pothole, guess what? This wheel would also move. So it wasn't as smooth of a ride. With this new independent rear suspension, the way it works is there's no longer an axle connecting both tires. So if you ever hit a pothole with this tire is not gonna move at all, which just gives you a more smoother, a lot nicer drive, you know? So that is one of the most important features that Ford introduced this year. Now, I'm sure you're very anxious to take this baby out for a spin already, but before we do, I just want to explain one last feature, which is actually my favorite feature, the Ford Smart Key Entry. And what that does, it allows you to enter the vehicle and enter and exit the vehicle without ever having to take the key out of your pocket. So why is that important? Why would I ever want that? Well, let's just say you're outside you went shopping to the mall, and it's 100+ degrees outside. You're already done shopping. You're so tired, and it's 100+ degrees outside, like it always is in Laredo. What's the last thing you want to do? You see your car like a block away. The last thing you want to do is walk up to the car and then try to find your keys, because you want to get into the car. Not only that, once you enter the car, it's like 140 degrees inside the vehicle. So Ford thought about something. Why don't we introduce a Ford Smart Key Entry? Like I said, the way that works is as long as you have the key inside your pocket, or like my wife, she carries around a purse that's like this size. And trust me, whenever we go out in her car, it takes forever to find her keys. And like I mentioned, all you need is this key fob. All you need to do is have this key fob in your pocket or in your purse. And as long as you're a foot away from the vehicle, you could automatically, instantly, as should I say, open the door. As long as you put the key, your hand in the handle, it opens up the vehicle automatically for you. Once you get to your destination, all you have to do is put your thumb on these ridges right here, and it'll lock it for you. Once again, none of this would have worked if I didn't have the key with me. Another cool feature about this key is that it has a remote start. Now, this is standard on every single Mustang, as well as a smart key entry. With this key, I can remote start my vehicle. The cool feature about that is, let's just say you're getting ready to go to work and it's super cold outside. What you want to do is before you exit your house, 15 minutes before you exit your house, you want to go ahead and remote start it. And the purpose of that is by the time you hop in, the climate will already be on depending on the weather outside. So let's just say it's 100 degrees outside. If you remote start your vehicle, by the time you hop in, it's already going to be cool. Even the seats will be cool because it has heated and cooled seats. Like I said, it's vice versa. If it's cold outside, it's going to turn on the heated seats and the heater on the vehicle. That's a very cool feature, very convenient feature, and it just makes life a lot easier, man. So, like I mentioned, if you have the key, all you have to do is put your hand in the handle, open it up, hop in, and there's a push button start, which is also standard on every vehicle. So you never ever have to take the key out of your pocket. All you need to do is have it inside your pocket, you hop in, push the button, and you're good to go. Now for the fun part, let me show you the inside. Come on in. Come on in, Mr. Customer. So check this out. Now that we're inside the vehicle, I just want to point out some real quick features that this vehicle comes with, like push to start. This button right here, all you have to do is hit the brakes and push this button and the vehicle automatically starts for you. Like I mentioned, only the person with the key can do this. Only the person with the key can open the vehicle, lock the vehicle, hop into the vehicle and turn it on. If you don't have the key, you can't do none of that. All right. You also have heated seats, cooled seats for the for the driver and the passenger. You have dual climate control, so if I'm cold and you're hot, you can control your own temperature. I have my own temperature. And also very important is your Bluetooth. You can connect your phone to this vehicle. If somebody calls you, you don't have to be distracted by, oh my God, where's my phone? Or if you're a lady and you always have your phone in your purse, all you have to do is connect your phone, pair it through Bluetooth, and as you're driving, it'll automatically tell you who's calling you and everything. And you have audio controls here, and you could also answer and ignore phone calls from here. Very, very, very convenient features. But enough of all the safety, versatility, convenience. I think I've proven that to you already. Now it's time to see how fun it could be to drive this car. Now it's time to see why after 100 years in business, products like the Ford Mustang are keeping Ford Motor Company and Sames Motor Company at the top of their game. But most importantly, I want this car to do the talking for itself, because it's going to tell you more about itself than I ever could. And when we get back to the dealership, I have 3 questions for you. How many? In what color? And will that be cash or credit? All right? With how versatile, how convenient, how comfortable the ride is, but most importantly, how safe this vehicle is, the Ford Mustang has set a standard as to how every single sports car in the industry will be judged. I'm proud to say that this vehicle has been one of our top sellers for the past 50 years, and it will continue to stay like that. With that said, I want to thank all our customers, all the loyal Mustang customers, most importantly, all the Sames customers. Thank you very much.